Let me just recap what I have done so far in the project migration of NXP chipset of the Class T power amplifier into TI chipset, same Class T power amplifier with an analog input and an analog output. And what I have done so far, I perform electrical performance. Lots of electrical performance for the three brothers, the TPA3250, that's younger brothers, the TPA3251, that middle brothers, and finally the TPA3255, that is called the eldest brothers or the strongest brothers. And I performed countless of electrical performance using an 8 ohms load, using a 4 ohms load, but I did not go deep down to 2 ohms load because I found it out that it looks like that, you know, there seems to be something wrong with that amplifier when I load it with 4 ohms load. And that discussion will gonna be in the next video where we're going to present why I don't like so much the performance when it loaded with a 4 ohms resistive load. And when I say electrical performance, I'm talking about the signal sine wave 1 kilohertz, like distortion at 1%, distortion at 10%, distortion caused by artifacts, how clean is the signal, what is the residual noise, what is that clock frequencies, and how it impact on the signal to noise ratios. Those are my terms actually in terms of electrical performance of that so-called parametric test. And in comparison to a kind of sound quality like details, stage, a sound retriever, that kind of what we call as let me just have a zip before I'm going to that kind of sound quality. When we're talking about the sound quality or that so-called SQ, we're talking about some terms that I cannot even understand or explain it. Like for example, energetic, that kind of terms. I'm not really sure what is all about it. Dullness, and it's not really written in my mind, so I have it here in my phone, like revealing, clarity, good staging, separation, reference, smoothness, those kind of things like a dynamic, natural, retrieval, and warm details once again, are softer, and those really belong to really a critical listening. If you're listening and then we're talking about all of these things, I don't think I'm going to enjoy my music anymore. It's no longer like listening pleasure as I often. So, what I have done so far in this migration from the NXP to TI chipset is to put it in a live performance, making use of my low class speakers, low class setup, something that everybody can afford it. And I put that into action real life,
This is the ambient
making
noise in
use
my
of the
room.
iPhone application with the Spectrum, and that is being recorded by on our mobile phone. And that's it. I think that is something that I can share it to my viewers, and let's see, and can we really define those informations or terms in the sound quality. I think that being a hi-fiers, or something that you're indulged in hi-fi, those are the terms that need to define, need to understood, and that seems to be something that will going to make you enjoy your listening to your favorite music. I think so. I think so. Before I continue, I would like to thank each and every one of you, my viewers who is following my channel, the DR100W Concept Power Amplifier channel, which right now I have about 444 subscribers. Thank you. Thank you very much. That is a very lucky number to me. But in Chinese, that is a very bad number, sir. But I would like to thank each and every one of you once again. Maraming salamat po sa subscription at saka suporta. And now my channel basically is a focus on the electrical performance, which is I perform a lot of tests here, tests there, tests here. It's gonna be boring already, I guess. We are talking all about the electrical performance, which is basically the same thing, the same process, the same ways of testing, but of course in a different condition. Like I'm putting that into a 4 ohms load, into an 8 ohms load, which gives you a different characteristic or different output. I think that even though I learned a lot in here, I hope you guys do learn a lot about this electrical performance. It's kinda boring actually, but I would like to explain in a different way that if you really have the passion to understand about what you are dealing with, then you really have to do this. You really have to understand the characteristic of a certain matters. Say, for example, for this, what we are doing it right now, the migration from NXP Philips into the TI chipset. Then I need to understand from the bottom of the electrical performance of this chipset. And that is the reason why I do a lot of electrical performance, not only once, really test here, test there. And if I'm going to relate that into something that is more easier to understand, if I may, like if I want to marry somebody else, I mean, for me, want to marry any nationality, let's say Filipino or Chinese or some others, I'd really like to understand about the background of the person that I'm going to marry. Probably I'm more interested in the first boyfriend, the first kiss, and so on and so forth. So you need to go through the background of the person that you really want to be with in your entire life. And that is exactly the same thing that I'm doing with the TPA325X series. That is the TPA3250, TPA3251, and again, the TPA3255, which is, to me, honestly speaking and personally speaking, it seems to me that I'm not happy without understanding the background and each of these modules or in each of this chipset. Seems to me that my happiness, my enjoyment, and my fulfillment are those on its electrical characteristics. Again, we're talking about cleanness of the signal, we're talking about distortion, we're talking about maximum powers, sine wave, 1 kilohertz, THD plus noise, and then bandwidth, the performance of this power amplifier in terms of money. Not like I heard from somebody else about equating the clarity or the sound quality of a specific amplifier in terms of how cheap it is or how expensive it is. Well, we have our own likes and dislikes, but for me, again, personally, honestly speaking, I am happy of understanding the electrical performance of a certain chipset. And by the way, I have something to celebrate because I just finished taking videos of the Maker Fair. That is the Shenzhen Maker Fair 2023. Actually, I am back as a media for the Maker Fair. That's the one. If you can see that one, that is the official media for the Maker Fair Shenzhen Maker Faire of 2023. And that makes me happy today that at the end of the day, I finally cover once again the Maker Faire. It's nothing about audio, but guys, this is all about the life here. Taking a part of the enjoyment is to be a part of the maker community, not only all about the amplifiers. My takeaways from this channel is that for me, again, personally and honestly speaking, I'm not happy just buy an amplifier and I don't know the electrical performance of it. Even though the manufacturer will going to say that they have like 200 watt of power at the 10% distortion, it seems to me that I don't believe that anymore. It seems to me that I would like to see with my naked eyes that it really can have about like that power to that distortion, to that load. It seems to me that that's not my happiness to understand about just simply taking all the information from the manufacturers. I'd like to test it with myself, with my own equipment. Another one is that I'm going in a deeper hi-fi. And what it meant by that is that I'm trying to understand more about the hi-fi terms in terms of sound quality. I'm learning them and I cannot remember them actually. So I put them into my Kudigu, like again, those kinds of natural, retrieval, dynamic, engaging, energetic. Those are the kinds of hi-fi terms that it's hard for me to digest right now, which is let me just continue it. Roughness, we get also sharpness, mean revealing, clarity, um, good staging, separation, probably the separation, I can understand that, like the stereo separation, uh, smoothness, refinedness. What else I got in here? Warmer, softer, details, crispier. Oh my God. What would I say right now? I mean, I'm blown off with these kinds of terms that in performing a sound quality performance, you're gonna list all of those things and wow, maybe it's subjective. I really cannot say anything right now as I'm telling to you that if I am going to those kinds of parameters to perform during the sound quality test, how I'm going to do that, like what kind of music input I will have, what is the bit rate? Is that gonna be like a 16 bit, 32 bit? Is that gonna be like a 48 kilohertz? I mean, what is the reference in order for you to evaluate this? These are your inputs that you're going to feed into the amplifier, a unit under test. And as a system, you got your speaker. What's your speaker sensitivity? Will that be like a two-way? Will that be a full range? Will that be a three-way? And what about the dividing network? What is it all about? It sounds to me that it's complex about the sound quality, which is really makes me crazy to think about it right now with all those terms that I have in my codigo. So, gosh, really crazy to go into the sound quality performance. Unlike in the electrical performance, we're up to sine wave. That's only one kilohertz, and we're good to go. The amplitude is a variable, and we are only taking care of the sensitivity, and that's it. You can control that one. No matter what you do, it's still about sine wave, 1 kilohertz, and the amplitude variables. Or it could be happen also that it's gonna be like square wave, 1 kilohertz. and amplitude again is variable, and we can only take care of what we call as the input sensitivity. I'm just only thinking right now that it's gonna be like subjective, which is depend on ear to ear, because there seems no really artificial that like a microphone that you can put in there and then can electrically or sonically able to determine the uh, the sound quality of a system like a real amplifiers. My mind is getting crazy right now, and it looks like this video is getting longer right now, but I'm really into it. I'm really into it to understand about the sonic characteristic or the sound quality, that how to do that in terms of what we call is a GRR, the gains, repeatability, and reproducibility. In terms of a dynamic music, that's really crazy to me right now, and it seems to be that I need to dig more, I need to understand more, I need to study more, I need to put more effort on how to understand about those so-called sound quality. I think that I need to invest more in a better speaker system. Again, that can be like full range, two-way or three-way, something that I need to invest. Something that I need to invest. That could really explain why those so-called high fires or purists, they are really crazy about all of these terms in sonic characteristic or sound quality, that you can't bend, you can't bend what they expect from a power amplifier or systems, something that they argue, and it tends that it's subjective based on perception of the music from person to person. So could be that me, um, maybe my perception from my decaying ear at aging is different from what your perception is. And that is the reason why for this the TPA325X series, I subjected them into a real sound quality performance, and not making any comment of that. You can hear it, those uh, performance of this module. I put down the link below where you can click it, and it will take you to those to that so-called sound quality performance. Enjoy listening to the TPA325X series sound performance or sound quality test. The link down below. Kain muna tayo. Lumalamig na yung pagkain. Hindi lang puro amplifier yung pinag-uusapan natin dito. Saka natin ulit pag-usapan yung power amplifier pagkatapos ng ating hapunan.
我不一样。哎，现在中文说的越来越好了。
Okay 啦。
棒棒的。
Okay. Yeah.
拜拜。
Hey, see you. At least I can express my real feeling while I'm eating, actually, because what's in my mind is to make a video about power amplifiers, class D power amplifiers, and I'm going to finish this migration from the NXP chipset to the TI chipset. I'm gonna finish it the next couple of videos. Another takeaways actually is that I don't like to be put myself, again, that is my choice, personally speaking, and honestly speaking, I don't want to go into this real hi-fi terms, like the sound quality terms that I just discussed right now, or all of these items in here. That makes me really crazy, and put me into a situation that I'm gonna be more comparing the system rather than the amplifier itself. So when I say systems, we're talking about the input signal, the amplifiers, and the speaker, which is that could be equate into a kind of money matters, because you're not going to have an input signals that is digitized, I mean, um, low digitized, you probably need a CD player to be the best, not those like MP3s or USBs with MP3s. No, that will definitely degrade the sound quality of the signals, which I can elaborate that later on the next videos, not in these videos. If someone would like to understand about this, again, the bit rate, the sampling rate, those really are very important to understand when you're talking about the quality of the source of the music. Again, I'm really getting crazy already thinking about this um, input source or input music source. Like I thinking of an MQA CD player that is a master quality authenticated MQA, which is they're not cheap actually. They're quite expensive, which is they claim to have one of the most highest fidelity as the music source, and thinking also about the speakers like that could gonna be a full range two speaker system, three speaker system, which is they mention about equating the performance of the quality the speakers into how much is the speakers is. So those kind of just a moment. There's it's important, but I'm going to finish this one. So what I'm thinking about is that when we're talking about the sound quality, it's talking about the systems, not only for amplifiers. So that's really make me crazy right now thinking of it. Again, I mentioned about makes me crazy right now because that's really the bottom line of having a kind of music system, and I don't like to really get crazy on that. That means, long story short, I don't like to get crazy on the what do you call this? The a critical listening. So the word is critical listening. I don't really want to go in that. What I like to have is just a listening pleasures. That means to say that I enjoy the music, I enjoy the type of music, and I enjoy that kind of environment and listening. And with the LCD display, just like my DR100, I can see my name. I can see also my Nathan Boy picture in there. Those kinds of the sum total characteristic of having a DIY power amplifier, then that's fine for me. That's what I call the listening pleasure rather than the critical listening. I'm not going to do that. Finally, I'm happy that I offloaded whatever I have in my mind and in my heart about going forward, going forward with the Class D power amplifiers. That I'm almost there. I'm almost there, finishing the migration from the Philips solution to the Texas Instrument solution. I'm almost there. Just one or two more videos and I can completely finish this kind of migration. And I do understood most of the characteristics of the TI chipset. That is why my next adventure will gonna be all about the listening pleasure. Not the critical listening. Otherwise, I'll be really getting crazy, and probably that will make me move into a much more kind of adventure, which is involve the cost of the players, the MQA CD players, and a high performance speakers. I don't know what's those high performance speaker right now. I'm going to go for DIY rather than goes for prices. I'll go for DIY. All right, guys. I know you know what to do. I know that you going to hit the subscribe button so that when I'm going to post some new videos, you're gonna be alerted. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button. Well, guys, it's Ferdinand once again, and thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for supporting this channel. Bye for now, and see you in the next video.